And I think a lot of people think because there are so many tech elements that it's harder than social media because they're okay or comfortable like posting a carousel, but they're learning over in those spaces no different than we are in the podcasting realm. And podcasting doesn't change too much. We might get better at the sound and we might get better at the clipping or the things that we're doing, but I don't think that it's any more tech savvy needed than any other social media platform.
Not at all. It's way easier. We actually ran an analysis where I completely deleted social media presence completely for 30 days. And I tested the amount of time I had spent, because we were still promoting on social or whatnot. And then came over and did it specifically on the podcast for 1 full month, not changing anything, except we're no longer on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. We grew revenue, email list, podcast downloads, lead gen, we drew conversion, everything grew. And what I discovered, why is it growing? Because I had 10 more hours in that month to be the visionary of the business. So I had optimized things. I had new content on the show. I had fresh content. We added some, I had ideas, and it opened up this big amount of space that you think you're using to grow a business, but you're really wasting because you're not, just because you have views on a video, reel, or carousel, are they converting? They're not. When you do a reel and you point at cute things and you get 1,000 views and you feel good about yourself, are they buying? Often not. They're just amused, right? Because there's nothing has happened for their heart. Nothing has happened. You haven't given them a tactical outcome. You have not given them a free tip. You have not given them something that they can truly, and maybe you gave a free tip, but was it enough where they go, I trust that person? So you wasted 2 hours making a reel and content in the same amount of time. You could have done a 20-minute podcast episode, promoted it, launched it, and already got your first sale. It saves so much time. And the tech is so easy.
It is. And I think too, if people think about it, because this is something that I teach, obviously, from you don't have to create so much. And I think creation is amazing. I think when we don't have the distraction of social media, anytime that I'm off of it, I actually am better at creating because I'm not letting anybody else's influence muddy what God is giving me right in that moment. But additionally, 20 minutes of any sort of content creation, unlike one post or a 15-second reel, you can clip that bad boy. You can create so much more content just with that one long form piece. And it allows people that additional space to think, I don't need to figure out what to post because I already said it. I already spent the time creating.
And there's no algorithm. The beauty of podcasting is that I go out and I created an episode 2 years ago that talked about my 3-step income business model, whatever. And I have live coaching over there. Those continue to be top performers 2 years later versus that took me 30 minutes versus the reel I created 5 minutes ago is already lost. You're not battling for real estate because the people are there searching for your house, right? They're in the keywords up in the bar of the podcast app going, Christian entrepreneur or start a podcast or Christian business coach or whatever the keywords are that you would have. And it's evergreen content. It continues to grow. And that's the same with Pinterest, which is another thing that I teach because it's this platform where there's no algorithm. You're not playing by someone else's games and rules. You're putting great content out and you're letting it work for you instead of you working for it to work.
That sounds really refreshing. And I am sure so many people who are listening to this show are like, wait, what? Tamra, wait, what? Can I really do that? And I think that's where a lot of people will sometimes stick into that analysis paralysis. Is that actually true? Nobody else is doing it. Well, isn't that the point?
Yes.
Right? Isn't that the point? And it's not to say that you need to jump on a bandwagon. Podcasting in and of itself might seem to be really popular right now, but there's only a few million podcasts in comparison to the amount of users that are on Instagram and Facebook, which is billions. And so the entry point still, even from when we started in 2018 and 2019, is so available. There's so much real estate there to gain and to have. And if you're looking at it from a specific lens, nobody's message is taken over there, no matter what you're passionate about, I don't think, because our voices are what connects us to people on a different level than just the message.
Yeah. And you know, what's interesting is like, you have two options. You can pick your long form content, which is, there's only three things. You can podcast and use audio. You can do video and use YouTube, or you can blog and use a blog. You have to pick one, or you keep jumping to the hot new platform and being the first mover,